I wonder where your money is today. The women's pursuit, their last race of the season. The men's season is over, and Denise Herrmann, without any announcement, is away. Slightly surprised we don't get to hear the start. We usually get a countdown from 10, but she's got a 20-second lead over Franziska Preuss. Eckhoff goes 3, Vitozzi of Italy 4, Davidova 5, and wouldn't it be ironic if Vitozzi was the one that stopped Vera winning the overall World Cup? That's quite possible.
I thought that after the sprint competition. Vitozzi, thankfully for her, coming strong at the end of the season.
Away goes Tyrrell Eckhoff. 18 out of 20, I think, will be enough to secure the globe. And she's certainly capable of that. She's proved that this season, shooting 20 out of 20 for the first time in her career. Davidova of the Czech Republic, what a finish she's had to the season. I'd like to see her in more of the pursuits and mass starts. That's where she's failed for me over the last couple of months. Heunisch has had a brilliant end to the season. Tandrevold number 9. Just behind her is Selena Gasparin. She'll be delighted to be in the top 10. And Julius Simon just behind her. 12 is Horschler. Then we've got a Monnier and Shemerenko. That's Via Shemerenko starting 14. She looked pretty solid in the sprint event. And Bendika Krichinkina. And there goes Dorothea Vera in the yellow bib. She has absolutely no choice, Mike, but to go 100%, to shoot fast, shoot accurate. It's got to be the perfect race.
It has to be. And you know what? She's got the best possible athlete just in front of her. They shot the same on Friday, but of course Dorothea Vera taking 15 seconds in terms of shooting time out of Mäkäräinen.
This is Denise Herrmann, the race leader. Obviously got a fantastic heart and lungs. Her cardiovascular readings are brilliant. But is there something technically that you think she does different?
I think her advantage, coming from that cross-country background, she reads the terrain well. She changes gear. There we are, skate 2. I can't see anything very different. A lovely spring through each descent into the compression through the leg.
Yeah, my feeling is, as with most German skiers, it's from the waist down. The legs are so strong. Yeah,
she really is. Preuss just gone through, a little less so, but I was impressed with her ski time on Friday.
Eckhoff looks to have taken a little bit out of Preuss. They started some 12 seconds apart. Denise Herrmann started 20 ahead, so she's gained on Preuss. And Herrmann was 32 ahead of Eckhoff, 37 ahead of Vitozzi. Not too much of a change here, 32.7. So Herrmann and Eckhoff travelling at the same speed in the early stages. Vitozzi looking good. She started 37 at 38.4. A solid start from her. Davidova was 43. That's good from her as well. So the leaders all starting at a fair pace. Here's the big climb, and certainly a change in tempo. Do you go for the short, sharp, choppy skate one?
Modern skating frequency, especially on 24% in terms of steepness climb here, and frequency really is the name of the game. Very hard to do on such a steep climb.
Key is to keep the skis moving, and you can see as soon as they place the ski down, they're driving the foot away. Eckhoff, more obvious than most. She has a very positive drive on that left ski.
First time up, it's fine. Fifth time up here, they will all absolutely be feeling it, and especially after such a busy season.
The Masters race this hill as well?
Thankfully, after the first Masters was held here, it was decided to take it out. But it's still steep enough, actually, going up the other side, behind us, if you like, behind the camera.
Yeah, it's the same height gain, just a longer climb.
Longer climb.
Might as well get it over and done with.
Well, it does hurt. Mäkäräinen and Dorothea Vera managing to stick with her. That's a good first lap for Vera.
Now, if you're racing a loop, Mike, you always want to climb steep and descend steady, much quicker than doing it the other way around, where you have a gradual incline and then a steep descent.
Yes, get it all over and done, but the entrance to this range, every range is unique, so you've got this killer, by the time you hit to the highest point from the base of this hill, 43 seconds to 50 seconds, and then it's relatively flat with one further climb into the range, but that hill still is felt in your pulse and your breathing as you come into the range.
So Herrmann is the first to test the wind conditions, third in the overall standing. She's gone ahead of Hannah Öberg after her success in the last couple of sprints. Öberg just fizzling away, fading away in the end of the season. A bit of a shame, but she's had a great year. I think many predicted she would be the overall World Cup winner this year. I think next year is a more realistic proposition.
Oh, look at the wind. This couldn't get much worse right now for Herman. That's going to slow her down.
Made for a cross-country skier.
Giving Eckhoff opportunity here, closing down a lot of time. Herman's producing good performance on the hitting those targets. Till I spoke.
Could be a few penalty loops today. There's 2 already. And Eckhoff, even if she hits 4 on each shoot, 1 penalty loop, 4 penalty loops, I think she'll hold Vera at bay. But if she misses 2 or 3 on the first shoot, that will even things up. So keep an eye on those targets. Vitozzi going along nicely. Preutz has done really well. There's the second miss from Eckhoff. So 2 penalty loops to do. Vitozzi, Davidova, 1 apiece. And Dorothea Vera yet to arrive in the range. She started 19th today.
Well, Dorothea Vera, she's going to be lucky because she's going to slot into, what, 18th, 19th, 20th position on the mat, and there's less wind up that end of the range.
Just looking for the yellow bib. It'll be there or thereabouts. So out they come. Eckhoff just starting her second loop. Herman is away. She drops from first down into second place. And that's a big switch, Mike, a 50-second switch in the first loop of 2K.
Incredible. Some poor shooting there, though. So Preutz hitting the 5. Simon going from 11th up into 4th position, hitting the perfect 5. So Vera came into lane 16. And she should be, of course, heading out fairly soon or onto the penalty loop. Haven't seen what she's managed to achieve.
I think she must have. There she is. Out she goes. 112 up to 14th already. So 5 places gained. If she can do that on the next 3 loops, she's in contention. And the globe could be hers. So things change just a little bit. Let's have a look at the fall of shot. I think, is this Preutz or Herman? I think it's Herman. Hits the first 3. And then 4 and 5. Well, that was interesting. Herman's shot's going low right, and in the zeroing, Mike, for both the men and the women's races, when they miss low right.
They did. That strong wind, it moves the fall of the shot to the right and also down, because the rifling on the barrel is clockwise. As the bullet spins, there's more pressure on the upside of it, which pushes the bullet down. You can see many changes on the range. And not that many athletes hitting the perfect 5. Öberg has. She's gone, Elvira Öberg, from 45th up to 21st. And her sister Hannah from 28th to 18th.
And that's despite missing once. Already it looks as though we're going to be struggling to get anyone through unscathed as far as the shooting goes. 3 athletes going clear in the men's race earlier on today. If you missed that, do try and watch it on catch-up, because it was sensational and so much at stake today, and a fairy tale ending, of course, to the season. So through goes Herman. She's got company. Good move from Julia Simon, getting herself up into the top 3. Vitozzi has done well, just 1 miss, 34 seconds behind.
Hirschler, although there's Herman, so Herman finding herself further, well, second place after the shooting.
Yeah, still in second place.
Still second. I thought she may close that gap. I was confused there. Well, she has. She's pulled it back by 5.
Now, Tyrrell Eckhoff has dropped down to 6th position. And if she finishes in 6th, then Vera only has to finish in the top 10. Vera already in 14th. So it's starting to look a little bit nervy for Tyrrell Eckhoff. Never won the overall. And Vera, of course, the champion last year. The margin between Eckhoff 153 behind, Vera just 1 53 behind and Vera just 12. So, you know, we've only got a 20-second difference. It's only one shot in it, Mike. And who would you put your money on to shoot better in these conditions?
Yes, I think all the time you would feel maybe a little more comfortable with Vera. Difficult conditions and changeable, but they're going to be coming into the range at much the same time, therefore much the same conditions, so fairly equal.
Just seen Vera come around the bottom of the base of the hill, and she will probably sense that Eckhoff is just ahead of her. Now, Norway didn't seem to have particularly good skis. They certainly looked tired in the men's race, and Eckhoff now at 44. When she came out of the range, she was at 53, so she is working hard, but Vera's getting closer. Here she comes.
Well, I did think that Vera, she looked tired in the sprint competition, but she's a fighter, you know, even though those legs are tired, all the athletes are, she will dig deep, she'll keep on fighting, so much at stake today.
Vera's taken 11 seconds off Kreutz on this lap already, and she still has Mäkäräinen for company. That's so important.
Mäkäräinen missing also only one, but losing time in the range, just 6 seconds on the range to Vera.
Yeah, a couple of impressive performances. Simon going 11-4. Huschler of Germany going 12-6, and Selina Gasparin staying where she was, down in 10th. Shemarenko, no real move from here. Vera from 19-14, but Mona Bråsen 25-15. So second shoot, back in the prone position, and Kreutz looks very much under control at the moment. There's still a stiff breeze blowing from left to right as the sun goes down here in Kontiolahti. First mistake.
Little surprise. So the wind seems to have now be blowing into their faces. That drops the fall of the shot quite low. Has a huge impact on the fall of the shot.
It's a big gust affecting lanes 1, 2, 3, 4. This could be a race-changing shoot for the leaders. The gusts aren't lasting long, maybe 30, 45 seconds max.
Wow. What a shame for Kreutz. 4, only hit 1 out of 5.
Yeah, but the bit of good news is that Hermann's missing as well. Vitozzi coping a little bit better at the moment, and the wind has just dropped off a bit. She takes advantage. Good shooting from the Italian. She's going into the lead, along with, in fact, Davidova's going to get the lead for the Czech Republic. Simon is through. Now, keep your eyes on Eckhoff's target and Vera's. Vera settling in. She's gained another few places, so it's looking tight. Eckhoff with 2. Norwegian fans will be cheering each and every hit from the Norwegian. She's got 4 out of 4. Is she going 5? No, she's not. Vera with a chance to move up alongside Eckhoff, but she misses it. That's absolutely crucial. Needs the last one. Gets it. Mike, there are only going to be a couple of places between the two contenders for the globe.
I'm surprised that Dorothea Vera, she slowed her shooting down, and yes, that is sensible in wind, but in the middle of the range there, it was much less so in terms of wind than on lanes 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5.
Bråsen's made another good shoot. I think she went clear on the first shoot. She did, to go from 25 to 15. Could be into, I'm almost certain she's going to be in the top 7 or 8. Elvira Urberg, another clear shoot. She's not done so well in the pursuits and the mass starts, but I've really put that down to a lack of experience of racing at this level.
Yes, it takes some time, and of course it's her first season. Bråsen, that's a fabulous shift. Move
25-6. That's why we love the pursuits. 26-10 for Kalkenberg of Norway. Vera has gone out in 9, and if she finishes 9th, it means that Eckhoff has to finish in the top 5 to claim the globe, and at the moment she's lying in 5th. So it's a cruel game because Kreutz did not know where her shots were missing. Almost all of it. It was quite a good group actually, Mike, but everything being blown out to the right.
Such a strong wind. She did twist the sides. I think it was 2 clicks accounting for 6 millimeters moving it back to the left, but she was so unfortunate. That was a powerful wind left to right, and really giving her no chance. And you cannot see the fall of the shot from 50 meters away, so she was just going on instinct to adjust the sight. Had she moved it another couple of clicks, so 4 or 5 clicks, I think she would have got them.
Davidova hoping to improve her position in the World Cup. She's got the lead at the moment. Second place is Vitozzi. It's not Vera. I think that was an error coming up on your screen. Is this going to be a win for Davidova?
I was just about to say when she set off, she's had 3 third places in sprint competition. I'd expected her to win 3, 4, 5 World Cups this season, looking at her performances in the previous season. Yeah, and let's hope today can be her day.
She got a win in Antolz last year in the sprint event, so that's her only victory so far. But she's only 23 and certainly has been much more consistent this year. And again, another couple of seasons. You don't learn this game in an instant.
No, and that's the case with Denise Herrmann. We often see in difficult days, Herrmann hasn't had enough time from a cross-country background to fully understand shooting and shooting in wind. Eckhoff has picked up the pace coming through.
She needs to.
She left the range 41 behind.
Now, Eckhoff with more wins than Vera this season, Mike. Who do you think should win it?
The way that Dorothea Vera is managing her discipline today, she looked very nervous. I think the advantage swings her way. She can see Eckhoff just in front of her. She'll see her again on this hill.
Yeah, Eckhoff would have won it already if the World Championships didn't count towards the World Cup.
Yeah, Eckhoff had from all the victories she's had this season, and then to have such a poor World Championships. What was it? Her first race, 58th position, having won the previous couple of sprints. And
then that, of course, knocked her out of contention for the pursuit. Never really got her confidence back throughout the whole championships. Wasn't until we went to Nova Mesto again that we saw her doing what we know she can do.
And she's still looking good in the terms of tracks. She's looking much more disciplined with her rifle. Today, the other factor is this strong wind, and that's knocking her confidence a little as well.
13 seconds between the red and the yellow bib. Those are the two athletes contending the Crystal Globe this year. And Dorothea Vera will be keeping her eye. Every now and again, you see her look up, and she just pings the red bib ahead of her. She knows what she's got to do. And just a reminder, if Eckhoff should win, Vera has to finish second. And pretty much that sequence stays the same down to 3. If Eckhoff finishes 4, Vera needs top 7. 5 top 8, 6 top 10. We saw a 2-point swing in the men's. For the whole season, 2 points, 1 shot, less than 1 shot deciding the whole season in the men's tour. The women's could be down at 1 point.
Isn't it incredible? And the pressure now that coming in for the first of the 2 stands, this is where the real pressure is felt.
And Vera, generally a better standing shot than Tyrell Eckhoff, although that is where Eckhoff has improved so dramatically this year. And Vera, if anything, has dropped away from last year. Vera on 78%, Eckhoff on 77% for the season. This is Davidova.
And interestingly, Egil Hjelland, the coach looking through the scope, he's Norwegian for the Czech team.
Now, in the World Championships, Davidova missed 3 on the 3rd shoot.
Here's her first.
Might just be thinking of that right now.
Conditions are kind.
Needs this. It's a repeat, Mike. 0-0-3. Can you believe it? Now, who's got the nerve? Will Vitozzi or Simon come out in top spot? Simon with that forward-looking posture. Vitozzi just waiting. 5 from Eckhoff would buy her a little bit of space. Keep an eye on Vera's targets. She will go quicker than the Norwegian. 3 out of 3. This is looking pretty steady. This is very impressive. 5 out of 5. Oh, that swings the advantage back towards the Norwegian because Vera's going to miss the first one. It's going to take an unbelievable stand on the last shoot. She's missed 2 penalty loops, but it's not over quite yet. Although Vera Eckhoff is in a fantastic position now, Mike. She's gone from 5th up into 1st, ahead of Julia Simon, who was on the penalty loop. And that was what we saw from Johannes Tingesbø on the last shoot this morning.
It's still difficult territory because Eckhoff will be given information that the great Dorothea Viera is on the penalty loop twice, and you know that can't but affect your thinking when you come in for the final time.
Yeah, just wondering whether Viera was pushing the pace too hard on the tracks. Do you think it's nerves, or do you think just, you know, working so hard to keep her hopes alive?
I think it's that option because she's equaling track time to Eckhoff. Her recent form hasn't shown that that's comfortable for her. So coming in that tough place where the pulse is too high.
Denise Herman with at least, well, she limits it to 2 penalty loops. Remember, Herman started first. She's in danger of not finishing in the top 20. Massive swings in this race. Bråsen is still clear. She's gone from 25th up to 6th, but that pales into insignificance compared to her teammate Schottheim, who's gone from 40 all the way to 7th, having hit 15 out of 15. Should she win it, that will be the biggest gain to a winning position that we've ever seen in the pursuit. Welcome back to Kontiolahti. We have one shoot remaining in the biathlon season, and it could be an absolutely key one for Tiril Eckhoff, who's back in front. What a race this has been, up and down the order. All, of course, depending on the shooting, and the gusts of wind are certainly having a big effect. Viera, 2 penalty loops. She's effectively 300 metres behind. She's 2 penalty loops behind. So if Eckhoff can hit 4 out of 5 on the last stand, Mike, you would think that the title is hers. Should she miss 3, the advantage swings towards Viera.
I think it does. Viera has, although it doesn't look good for Viera, 16th position, but she's only 57 seconds behind Eckhoff, and there's a whole lot of traffic. So look at all these positions that very quickly Viera could pull back if she gets 5 out of 5.
Now we'll get a look at the Swedes. We've got Johanna Schottheim, who's the best improver on the day so far. She's only 48th in the World Cup standings, hasn't gone clear in any races over the 2 shoot. She'd got a 0-0 in the sprint in Ruhpolding earlier in the season. But she's having the race of her life at the moment. Comes from Torsby, so we'll try and pick. She's the second one, I think, of the 2 Swedes. And just in front of her, we have Mona Bråsen, and then number 40 just behind her. Vitozzi dropping down the order with that last shoot, back into 3rd. She'll keep her hopes alive. What about Davidova, Mike? Where did she come out, having led into the range, down in 7th or 8th?
Oh, unfortunately it is 8th, but she'll have to take the positives. Here she is coming up the climb. Davidova only 34 behind. There are so many athletes now that could get on the podium, depending on what happens at the front of the field.
4 athletes with the perfect score so far. Tandrevold is not one of them. She's missed 3 so far. Sulumdal of Norway has hit the perfect score, 15 out of 15. That would be a nice way for her to finish the season. Bråsen, Schottheim, both with 15. And then Tang of China has hit the perfect score and moved from 49th up to 23rd. So that's a really good performance from the Chinese athlete. Bendika. This is Justine Brizard? It is Justine Brizard coming up. Now, moment of truth. Has she got what it takes to seal her first overall globe? 5 out of 5 and it is definitely going home with Eckhoff. 4 out of 5, I think it's pretty certain. 3 out of 5, Vera has a chance.
Has a chance. I think Eckhoff, she's coming in at a firm pace. The flag's okay. At the moment, they're being kind, but that changes quickly. And interesting, Patrick Oberegger used to be Vera's shooting coach, created her, really helped create her in terms of confidence in shooting. And now he's Eckhoff's coach.
Well, he's worked wonders with Eckhoff, who has won more World Cups this year than she has in the rest of her career put together. Can she finish in style? She won't rush. One more miss from Eckhoff. Well, there it is. She can only get 3. One more miss. And we're going to see another swing. 3 penalty loops. Wow, 450 meters to go. And Oberegger looks down the range to see if the yellow bib has arrived. And as he does so, Vera takes her place on the shooting mat. If one woman is capable of hitting 5 out of 5 quickly, it is Dorothea Vera. Now, Mike, if she hits 3, she's going to be on the tail of Eckhoff. I think she's got to hit 4 to be certain. Eckhoff just finishing her first penalty loop now. She's got another 2 to go. Vera missing 1. She's on her way. She's not hanging around. It's a perfect shoot. And I think that could be the shoot that wins the season for Dorothea Vera. It's going to be desperately close. Eckhoff about to complete the second penalty loop. This is not her. She's still got a way to go. And she's going to see Dorothea Vera come onto the loop, but she won't have a clue how many she's got to do. This is Eckhoff now. She's behind, and I don't think she's going to be able to ski herself into a position to get enough points to beat Vera.
Beyond belief how it's changed. She needed to get hit 4 targets to guarantee that crystal globe. I thought actually that Eckhoff had completed her penalty loops, but anyway, she's still coming off behind. In fact, some athletes in between as well.
Yeah, and she's just seen what she did not want to see, which was the yellow bib ahead of her. So Eckhoff now has to produce the ski of her life. Is it possible? We've got Vera in 11th position at the moment.
The saving grace for Eckhoff is there's a lot of traffic. She can, with 14 seconds, she can pick up some 6 places.
Will Vera let her go? Oh, you can see the stress in the eyes. $10 points in it at the moment, so Eckhoff has got to make up some 6 places on this last loop. It's only 2 kilometers. What a fantastic race from Julia Simon. Absolutely superb. She's hit 18 out of 20, has always been there or thereabouts, never at the front until now. But in a pursuit, the perfect place to take the lead is after the last shoot.
The annoying aspect of this, but what a performance from Simon. She deserves this race today. The annoying part for Eckhoff is she's been on that penalty loop 3 times, 450 meters skiing. Her legs are tired coming into this last lap.
Well, we'll see what she can do. We will see what she can do. Makarainen getting a good cheer from those who've come to the fence that surrounds the stadium. No fans allowed in, as I'm sure you understand. Didn't have that in Novo Mesto, and of course the cancellation of Norway, a result of the coronavirus. Now, Vitozzi recovering well, had a little shake after the 3rd shoot, Mike. She's got herself back up into contention for a podium.
Very happy for Vitozzi. She needs that. She needs to end well. And Makarainen chasing a podium, but I think just a little too much work to do.
Shot time from 40th to 5th place. That is an outstanding performance, and she can celebrate tonight. Now, we're keeping an eye out for Tiril Eckhoff. Has she got anything left? She's really, in my book, got to get into the top 5. I can't see it happening, Mike. I cannot see it happening.
How could I doubt Makarainen? She is chasing down Gasparin, Vitozzi for a podium.
Yeah, and Eckhoff hasn't caught Dorothea Vera yet, so she knows that she's in severe trouble in terms of the overall. Can you believe it? It's coming down, not to the last shoot, it's coming down to the last couple of 100 meters. Wow, well, Vera digging deep, and we saw in the World Championships, Mike, if there's one thing Vera can do, it's work hard. She can really put herself through a lot of pain.
She certainly can. This could be a deciding factor for Mäkinen to continue for another year, another 2 years in biathlon. Now, I would imagine a podium in her mind would be reason enough to stay with biathlon. And I think she's going to achieve it.
Now, this is the group that Eckhoff needs to catch, but it does not look as though that is going to happen. The margin just a little bit too big. Remember, when they reach the top of this climb, they've only got some 400 meters to go to the finish line. Mäkinen at 38.4. She's only got 2 seconds to make up on Selena Gasparin. We haven't mentioned Gasparin, Mike. Best race of her season. I know she's won a World Cup before, but we haven't seen her on this sort of form for many, many years, and still looking pretty good.
Yes, 4 targets missed as well, so the ski speed is there, and Gasparin will not let this go easy. Mäkinen desperate to close these couple of seconds.
Oh, great skiing from Gasparin to draw up alongside Vitozzi of Italy. And that little burst of speed from Gasparin, I think, sealing Mäkinen's fate. The podium, maybe just she needs another 200 meters or so to close it down. But Julia Simon, an up and down season. She's had a few disastrous relays this year, but this is a fantastic race for her. She gets her first ever World Cup win. So a double victory for the French today in the 2 pursuit races. She's overcome with emotion. Here comes Mäkinen. She's still fighting, but that gap of, 15, 20 meters, too much. She's going to have to settle for 4th place. And again, she struggles to get victories here.
Further back down the track, Eckhoff has moved ahead of Dorothea Viera, but just by 1 second.
Well, she's still got to gain ground. We'll go on to that in a moment. Great race from Gasparin. That's fantastic. Her best of the season. Vitozzi on the podium to give her some momentum for the summer. Mäkinen 4th place, 28.2 behind. There's your winner. We don't need to go back out on the tracks. And Heunisch, Mike, how many times has she finished in the top 6? It's unbelievable, the consistency since we went to Antolz and the World Championships. Here comes the race for the overall. Eckhoff has gone ahead of Viera, but not by enough places. She's going to be down in 10th position. And Viera had to finish outside the top 15. The title is going to Italy for the 2nd year in succession. And Eckhoff has only got herself to blame. 3 misses on that very final shoot.
Oh, incredible how the whole season can stack up to that one moment, those few seconds, that millisecond when you squeeze a trigger. And unfortunately for Eckhoff, that didn't go well last time in.
The men's title decided by less than 1 shot. The women's title by less than 1 shot. If Eckhoff had hit 3 rather than 2, she would be the champion. That's how tight it is. And unbelievable after 21 races of the season that it should be so tight. We always sensed early on in the season that the women's tour was going to be close. I don't think we thought we were going to get both fought down to the last inch.
It's been quite incredible, and the poor performance from Eckhoff relative to leading into the World Championships, that's been a huge factor in this season as well, and that stacks up the pressure for the final day. Conditions weren't easy though for Eckhoff, final time in.
Sheena, Huschler, Pefsen across the line, 2 minutes behind. We always point out those who make a lot of ground, you know, when some make, others lose. Denise Herrmann from 1st all the way down to 16th. 8 misses from Denise Herrmann today. Not the way she wanted to finish the season. And Huschler dropping 12 down to 26. Any other outstanding performances? In terms of shooting, Mike, the Swedes seem to have come out on top.
The Swedes have a shot time from 40th to 7th, the athlete from Torsby, and Brorsson 25 to 6th, starting 25th to 6th. And they're the only athletes, 2 of 3 athletes who've only missed 1 target. Persson is the other one.
There's your winner, Julia Simon. And don't forget, she started some way off the pace, down in 11th position, and shooting pretty solidly, 18 out of 20, a 90% hit rate on a day like this. The wind not the strongest we've seen this year, but very variable.
Yes, that's the difficulty when if you have constant wind, you can lean the rifle into it more so, but when the wind is there, it's creating pressure on the rifle, and then it drops off in an instant. You then the rifle sways way off target. Not an easy, certainly for Eckhoff, down the right-hand side of the lane, I think more difficult than it was for Viera down in lane, I think it was 15 last time in.
But Eckhoff's third shoot. Mike was immaculate. 5 out of 5. Gasparin, Mäkäräinen, 2 veterans on the tour. We may not see either of them on the tour next year. Let's hope they stick with it. Eckhoff, bitter, bitter disappointment. And still the tail enders coming in. Just having a look, we must have had 1 or 2 athletes lapped at the end. Tears running down the face of Mäkäräinen. I think that's an indication that she's calling it a day. We've had that on quite a few seasons, and then the coaches persuade her to come back, and quite rightly so, because she's still got so much talent, so much to give. But it's a tough, tough life. It's a fun life, but it's a tough one. And Martin Fourcade, amongst others, deciding that today is the day to call it a day.
And it's been a fantastic journey for Martin Fourcade, and hopefully they've time to celebrate that tonight. Although with the current situation, gatherings may not happen. Prize givings, of course, Crystal Globe has been given out here on track, and he got a good cheer from the teams, all the teams and all the athletes.
Yeah, a party where you stay a metre apart isn't really a party. There's the French team. What a day they've had to wrap up the 2020 season. Winning the men's, winning the women's, with a first-time winner in the women's, Julia Simon. That's a big step in her career.
It is. She had great skis today. We saw that in comparison to Vitozzi coming down the steep hill before the return back towards the stadium. And yeah, it's a team effort as well as the individual coping with the pressure. Everybody exhausted, and they'll be sad as well that Oslo didn't happen. It's a nice end to the season going over to Oslo and being in the city. So Mäkäräinen, yeah, I thought maybe the podium would help her change her mind, but it looks like she is retiring.
Yeah, and what a shame for her that many fans in this part of the world haven't been able to turn up. She lives, what, 10, 15 Ks down the road in Jiangsu. And I hope she's got a big role to play in biathlon in the future. And of all sports, Mike, a lot of people do stay in it. You know, you turn up to the World Championships and all the techs are ex-biathletes. Many of the coaches are ex-biathletes. Many of the officials are ex-biathletes.
And we saw that with Stephanie Popov, the Bulgarian wax technician. She missed it so much. She was a good biathlete. She retired from it, but she loves the energy around these races and loves the sport of biathlon. And Mäkäräinen will miss, of course, she is retiring, and she will miss this sport.
So there are the top finishers, and the white figures on the left indicate where they started. Doesn't give you the times they were behind, but I can tell you that number 40 started 1:51 behind, probably produced the fastest time of the day. We don't have those stats at the moment, but only 44. She's gained a minute at least on Julia Simon, the race winner. Dorothea Vera scrapes in 11th place, but that is enough to secure the overall by my calculations. It's close. I think we've got 4 or 5 points in it at this stage of the season. So 2 of the closest battles for the Crystal Globes that we've ever seen. And Kontiolahti always seems to be treated to a nail biter.
It does, and these changeable and difficult conditions, so typical here, the wind coming up from this huge lake to our left here. And I suppose it really tests the nerve and the ability of the biathletes on this range.
So Julia Simon of France with a very, very popular win here in the women's pursuit. Well, the time here just coming up to 5:30 in Kontiolahti. The sun going down, the temperature going with it. As we look at the finish, this is Vitozzi versus Gasparin for second place. Gasparin with beautiful technique, made that look so easy. Nipped into second place, and she stayed there. Both of those two staying ahead of Mäkäräinen, who was hunting a podium finish to finish her career. But she has to settle for 4th.
Julia, what a day, what a way to finish the season. First career win. How do you feel?
I don't realize, it's just totally crazy.
Well, shots of the women's pursuit here in Kontiolahti. It was an up and down day. No one found the shooting easy. But it was Julia Simon of France who held firm. 18 hits out of 20 on a day like this. Very, very impressive. Very worthy of a win. Here she is.
Yes, of course. He's amazing. It's a very great guy. And he gave everything he had to the sport, to the French biathlon. And right now it's just incredible to do my first win just after his last win.
In Pokljuka, you said it was a dream to carry the flag for the team. Now you did it for yourself. How was that?
Yeah, that was crazy. It was just amazing. When I did my last shoot, all I want it's cross the finish line for share with my teammate and the staff. And right now, just amazing.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Kaisa, what a special day, what a special way to finish. Can you tell us your emotion at the moment?
No, I'm happy I had a clean last shooting. Yeah, I didn't expect that it would happen here in my home stadium, but yeah, we cannot choose all the steps.
Well, that was nice to hear from today's winner, and she was as surprised as many. Here's someone who has been around for many,
We've
many
had so
a
many
year.
emotions with you throughout all these years. What do you think you will be missing the most?
My friends, all these girls who competed here with me, it's a special biathlon family, and I'm sure I will miss most them.
Can you tell us one memory that comes to you over all these great years?
It's hard to pick up any one special, but for sure all the globes I have won, I will respect them maybe more now after the career than what I have during my career.
Thank you so much, and thanks for being such a great role model for all the girls in the years.
Thank you.
Dorothea, you're defending the overall title in quite a dramatic fashion. Can you tell us, how does it feel, first of all?
Oh, I can't realize it still, you know, it was, today I was sure that I couldn't do it because I was really...
a sad day for the Finnish team and a very, very emotional day for Mac
I had
Ryan.
really not a good shooting
15
today. So,
seasons, 3 times
yes,
she's been the overall number one.
But I think it's just amazing.
It's been a long while since a woman defended the overall. How tough was that?
Yeah, I think yesterday it was the worst race for me. You know, with 3 mistakes, I wasn't sure that okay now I will be second, but it's also good. But my coaches just told me to fight and to give everything because it's the last race of the season. So yeah, I give it all what I had inside because I was really tired also in the head and the body. But yes, it's really, really great for me and for my team also.
What a season with the 2 gold medals at home and this globe. Can you tell us something about this 2020 for you?
Yeah, it's amazing. You know, when last summer I didn't thought that it would be a season like that, and it's for sure I need a lot of time to realize everything because it was really intense, a lot of pressure, and it was since today it was really hard also for my mind and my body and everything. So it's just great.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Yeah, what a season it's been for Dorothea Viera. 2 gold, 2 silver at the World Championships, Kontiolahti does get the Pursuit Globe as a consolation, having won 3 of the 5. And of course the World Championship was the one that she did so badly in. But she had a bit of a meltdown today, and that has cost her the overall Globe, which I'm sure is the one prize that she really wanted.
She would have, and you know, starting third today with Vera 19th, she must have thought, well, I have a strong chance, and then sadly in this final time, she felt the pressure on the range.
An expectation is a pressure in biathlon that no one likes.
No, and it's almost like no other sport, because you've got this single moment in time. You can push hard on the track, but this moment in time where it needs to go well on the range, so much can change mentally.
And because of the format of the pursuit, where you can have a minute's lead over everyone else, expectation is greater than anywhere else. We're about to see, I hope, the overall standings. By my calculation, 7 points between the top 2 women. Again, 1 shot more from Kontiolahti would have swung it. Oh my goodness, she's not going to sleep tonight.
She's not. She's going to have to rebuild, recoup, and come back next year and try and take it. She's had a great season though, with all those victories. Of course, 7 wins in the season.
Well, there you have it, 7.93 versus 7.86. Denise Herrmann in 3rd place, outdoing Hannah Urberg, who just tired in the last couple of weeks of the season, but she's real potential for next year. Roysland, who we haven't seen since the World Championships, the golden girl of the World Championships, 7 medals from 7 races, and she'll be back next year. But a shame she got ill just after the Italian World Championships. McRyan finishes her career in 11th. Remember, she won the overall on 3 occasions, but no Olympic medals. Only once in 12 attempts did she get a world title.
She's had a great journey, and you know, she appreciates the biathlon family, but she, unfortunately for her, being one person in a team that could provide, she felt the pressure at the major championships.
So Eckhoff gets punished twice for her poor performances at the World Championships. It was that 2-week period where she lost form and lost confidence that has changed things around.
And well, the sprint competition springs to mind as well at the World Championships. It killed off her chance completely, almost, of picking up points and good points in the pursuit.
Well, everyone's winter season cut a little bit short by the coronavirus. That is the end of the biathlon. We were due to finish next Sunday, but Oslo is now not taking place. Well, let's have a look at some of those who have dominated their winter sport this season. In Nordic combined, it's all been about Carl Magnus Ribe from Norway. 17 wins, 2 podiums, 20 World Cup stages. Astonishing. When you hit a purple patch in Nordic combined, you have to take advantage of it, and he did that, and he took Norway all the way. In the Alpine, it's Kilde.
Are you sure now?
It's been a long season for them. Again, weather affected. And it doesn't matter what the sport, the Norwegians tend to be on top. Brignoni, sensational 4 from her, 5 wins and 6 podiums. Consistency, the name of the game. A real boost for Italian alpine skiing. Second overall World Cup victory for Stefan Kraft. The Austrians are back. The red and white of Poland, not the flag flying at the end of the season this time around. In cross country, one man has been stronger than all the rest all the way through the season. Alexander Bolshinov, he wrapped his season up with the win in the Holmenkollen 50. So much strength, so much power, but it's his will that takes him to the top of the podium time and time again. And then Therese Johaug, well, what can you say? She is an endurance machine. 20 wins this season. She goes from strength to strength to strength. finally denied in Holmenkollen, pipped on the post by the Swedes, but undoubtedly the world's #1. And in men's biathlon, this man, he did it, but only by 2 points over Martin Fourcade. He needed 4th today, he finished 4th. Why waste energy on moving on to the podium? Well, it was nice to see the other winter sports, and nice to see that Mäkinen is going to take her part in the flower ceremony today. Lisa Vitozzi finishing 4th, and good way to finish the season. Bit up and down, Mike, but remember, she was 2nd in the World Cup last year.
She certainly was. I think she felt the pressure coming in, expectations high this year. Good to see her coming, relaxing towards the end of the season, caring less and performing much better.
Started 4th, finished 3. So a little bit disappointed, I guess, to be overtaken by Gasparin in the last 150 metres, but so many happy faces to see Selena back on the podium. That was a very, very strong performance from her, having started down in 10th position. Only 2 wins in her career, but this will feel as good as those.
It will, and what ski speed she had over the final lap, and she'll be delighted to end the season this way.
And Julia Simon finishes her season with her first World Cup victory. How good must that feel? There's no stopping the French. So there are your top 3 from today. Simon in the middle of your picture, just 23 years of age, next door to Selena Gasparin, 35 years, 12 years between them. There's a lot of experience there. Couldn't quite make the top 3, but it was still a fantastic race from Mäkinen. Lots of pressure when it's your last race.
And I think she coped so well. Those last 5 shots of her career were so important. She put all 5 targets down.
Fourcade announcing his retirement last night. He's known it since the World Championships. Mäkinen, a much lower profile affair. Had the limelight taken away from her somewhat by Martin Fourcade. But, you know, we appreciate what she's done over the last 15 years.
Yes, she's been a wonderful part of the biathlon family, and her successes throughout the years, the Crystal Globes, the great head-to-heads. And it's the Finnish way, isn't it? Just keeping things kind of low profile. And she really has been very popular in the biathlon tour.
Mona Broussen at the far end, getting herself from 25th up into 6th in the end, just denying her teammate Schottheim a place in the flower ceremony. Schottheim, who started down in 40th. Is this a face we're going to see on the podium many times next year? What do you think, Mike?
Well, often it is the way where you can win once, or you win once, albeit the last race of the season, and that is a massive confidence booster. Pity we have been denied Oslo, because I think Simon would show us podiums again and maybe further victories. It's often the way. She skied well, she shot well, and it felt so easy for her. She had no pressure today whatsoever.
Nice for Mäkinen to finish with a good race rather than a disaster. It wasn't her best, but you know, she was in the mix.
She certainly was. Jana Pitkin in there, huge part of this club over many, many years, and she was here as secretary for the first ever World Cup, which came here back in, what was it, 1990.
Mäkinen's 1 win this season coming in Oberhof. That was a fantastic performance. 20 out of 20 in the mass start to win by a country mile. And I think she surprised herself, as well as us, hitting 20 out of 20. We've seen a lot of the tricolor over the last couple of months, Mike. Can France go up another level and start to knock Norway off their perch in terms of the Nations Cup?
They've got, even without Martin Fourcade, the momentum is without doubt there in the French team. And many in fact, young athletes still coming through from junior groups, so the future is certainly very bright for the French men and women. Switzerland, in terms of youth and juniors, are really doing well, as are the Swedes.
Vera Urberg. And Urberg's younger sister, and quite rightly, she gets the Rookie of the Year award. It's been a really, really impressive season. And the only races where she's struggled a bit are the head-to-heads. But I guess as a junior, you don't do too much of that.
Oh, it's brilliant. Rookie of the Year. She started her journey, first ever World Cup race at home in Östersund, 12th position. And only better that at the World Championships. And that speaks volumes. There's Borut Nuner. He's done so well out every day on the range in the cold, directing the show, starting the races.
Well, let's see how Ekhoff is getting on. She's had to wave goodbye to her chance of winning the overall. She may never be in that position again, but she's a fabulous personality and takes the pursuit title. Remember, she won the first 3 pursuits of the year. That set her up, and then finished 20th in the World Championships, but that was because she had such a disastrous sprint in Antolz. But she, you know, she's brought a lot of life to the tour this year.
She has.
Suddenly went on that winning run.
She did, and to move from 58th to 20th, that was it. Yeah, her shooting had disappeared, her confidence had dropped away, but I thought that was a strong performance and played a big part in winning this Globe today.
One shoot cost her, the last shoot of the season.
She's going to look at that tonight, think about it maybe throughout the summer, and she'll try and put those shooting skills, make them a little stronger.
Yeah, Mazet, will he stay with the Norwegian team? What can he do to, you know, Johannes Tingsbø looked a little nervous, Ekhoff a little nervous at the crunch moment. That's where you need your team psychologist.
It is, and then Mazet is very good at that, and of course Patrick Oberegger, a huge part as well.
Denise Herrmann picking up the Globe for the sprint events this year. She's won the last 2 sprints. Got a 5th place in the World Championships in Antolz. Her season took a bit of time to get going, but when it did, she was on fire. Always a potential winner. She's the fastest skier on the women's tour. If she hits 90%, she's likely to be in the top 3.
Yeah, it's very strange. She likes the sprint. She shoots well on the sprint. We've seen that the last 2 races. But then the next day, as last weekend in Novo Miesto, she missed 6 in the mass start there. So the second day, the day after the sprint, not quite as good. And today, she missed 8 targets.
But like Ekhoff, this season, she got her first ever 20 out of 20. That's a big boost psychologically.
It is, and she's beginning to totally understand how it works in biathlon after 4 seasons.
Hannah Urberg picking up the individual title. 10th, a 2nd and a 4th. That was a fairly tight affair. No one consistently good in the individual. Vera won the world title, of course. We saw Denise Herrmann get an individual win in Pachuca earlier on in the season. And of course, Justine Brizard won the very first race of the year, the first individual in Östersund. Here she is. Doro has done it again. Look good, feel good, be good. She has been sensational, very consistent throughout the season. You know, the World Championships in front of your home crowd, Mike, that has to be the most impressive story of her season.
I think her fame became in Italy and worldwide in biathlon grew during those World Championships. She hadn't prior to that performed well there at home, her home range from when she was so young. This year she nailed it. She's matured. She's got the endurance now as well and the strength to keep on racing well throughout the whole season.
Yeah, didn't actually win a mass start this year, but found herself on the podium a couple of times, only once out of the top 5. So again, it was more about consistency than anything else. And when you shoot as well as she does, and you have that extra little weapon of being able to take 6-7 seconds out of everyone on the stand chute if you have to.
And that's the key to her successes. Those nibbling 6 seconds, the easy 6 seconds, have meant so much this season.
What was it, single mixed relay where she hit the standing targets at the Worlds in, what was it, 21 seconds?
Even
was
more,
it quicker?
Even better, it was, I think, 19.9 seconds.
Well, I guess these shots will be in the Italian papers tomorrow. And, of course, we'll have her on the front of the IBU handbook for next year alongside Johannes Tingesbo. It's a repeat of last year. Well, that's it for the biathlon season. Thanks for your company throughout. I hope you've enjoyed it. Sad for all of us that the season's been cut a little bit short, but no choice whatsoever for the IBU but to cancel Oslo. And we have finished in such dramatic style that it was almost worth it. 7 points separating the women, 2 points separating the two men. Johannes Tingesbo is champion, so is Dorothea Vera, and they'll be